the night. It also could be the first of many matches. I don't know. I did a StarCraft cast with Wolf back in the day that ended up going like 15 rounds or something like that.
Remember when we did an OSL tiebreaker like this and we were there for probably an extra 4 hours?
Yeah, that's right.
We had to reset the bracket, the round robin, like 3 times. So it was glorious, but this is a very fair way to run tiebreakers. So I personally enjoy it.
Yep.
All right, NZNR actually showing the Soldier right now, but see if they switch it up. Singapore, they've had some problems with positioning, getting picked off early in some of these fights. NZNR going to commit right now to the Soldier, interestingly on the low ground right now. Some teams like Envious do like to run the Soldier 76 on first point defense on King's Row, but you want to take that high ground position most of the time.
I think it's good because, again, you know, Singapore known for Kobat playing that Farron. Soldier 76, one of the heroes that can, you know, make it a little bit harder to fly around and land those rockets. So maybe anticipating that a little bit. But I think Kobat did better yesterday when he was off the Farron. I think that's what we're going to see.
Well, we'll see if he does it. Yes, I think they're anticipating the Farron, but Oputo has been great on the McCree.
Totally.
And I think that it's better to run the Mei here for NZNR on the first point. He has such skill on it. He's actually not going to the high ground at all as they are going to push up, and we are going to see Singapore up in the high level of the hotel and dropping down.
That's right. They're going to try to come from the side here, and we'll see if Thailand is ready for that. Reborn's moving around the top. Everybody trying to get back up to that high ground. They got hit with the biotic grenade, so we'll have to wait it out a little bit. It's over now, and they are really trying to jump onto this point from the high ground. Thailand has to be ready for this. Let's see if they can. Kobat playing the Junkrat, as you can see now.
Yeah, he did this yesterday, offensive Junkrat. It did surprise people. I don't know if it's the most effective, but the fact that he's gotten all the way up onto the halls, the high halls on the backside of the point, means he's going to have a great position to rain those grenades down.
Well, this is a smart decision by Singapore to just sort of take the high ground. It took them a while to get there, and yeah, they're using time to do this, but if they can kind of fight as the defender rather than the attacker, they might be able to take it, but they have to make a move sometime. They can't spend the rest of the matchup there.
I do have to question Thailand's defense, though. Not having their Soldier up on the high ground at the start really made it very easy for Singapore to just take over this part of the map, and now Thailand has to defend in an awkward position on the opposite side of the point.
This is one of the weirdest point A Kings I think I've ever seen, man. Well, Nano Boost available if he wants to use it. Looks like he's going to throw it in there. Goes onto the Zarya, actually. Revenant, the one receiving that. We'll see if he can push back Thailand so Singapore can take that point. And NZNR getting a couple with that Soldier, but so far the red team able to claim it. Looks like they'll get it. Took them a while to get there, but once they jumped down, the fight went their way. They're going to use the Graviton Surge to clean that up. Not sure if that's totally necessary, but either way, it looks like they will get the payload started, although maybe I spoke too soon. Thailand actually getting back, and they may actually hold this. Wow, it was close, but it looks like Thailand may hold on.
And Singapore committed ultimates as well to pick off the last 2 members of Thailand's team, and they still can't actually cap it. It's going to fall back down to that second tick, and Kobat will be cleaned up by Oputo's McCree. Not doing any swaps yet. This has been a very bizarre and very awkward first point attempt by both teams.
If they had saved that Graviton Surge and could have used it on the Thai players coming through the choke, I think they may have been able to grab point A there, but maybe a little bit of a frivolous use there. Now they find themselves having to reassault the point. They only need the 1 tick, so we'll see what they can do, but there's a Graviton Surge. Reborn trying to counter with the Deadeye, but he gets taken out by NZNR. Doing work on that Soldier 76, but Kobat comes in, gets a couple with his ultimate, and so it looks like Singapore may have a chance again to grab this, and yeah, they will. They'll start the payload.
Actually, Thailand falling pretty far back off that point, despite the fact that they had 5 surviving members. They concede a lot of ground. Thailand been conceding a lot of ground so far on point A. I mean, Singapore going to have a very good opportunity. Kobat refusing to switch off the Junkrat. It's been working so far, he thinks, so keeps on pushing on through. Is not going to get into the halls.
You know, maybe I feel like you want to get into the high ground at that point, but maybe just want to throw a couple
bit risky.
Through.
You know, there's a couple long-range hit scan with the McCree and the Soldier on the other side.
It's possible.
You commit to that, they could be in a position to get headshots. You didn't get a big wipe, and here comes Oputo from the back, but gets sleep darted, but he gets Dest first.
Yeah, they get the trade. Oputo's still up there for the moment, so not a full trade. Singapore trying to keep the payload rolling, but Thailand fighting back. They've got a couple ults to work with, including that nano-boosted Soldier 76 if they want to go for it. We will see. He's got him in their sights now. We'll see what he can pick up. No one really available, but they're going to use a nano-boost on him anyway. Sound Barrier comes down to ensure that Soldier lives long enough to do some work, and Colbat on the way out with that Junkrat. He's not going to make it, though, as NZNR does not finish him off. I was waiting for it. All he needed was one more shot. A melee would have done it, but he couldn't.
And Singapore coming in with a big ult advantage right now. They've got their nano boost up. Nano boost from Kurlos was committed to NZNR's Soldier. So he is going to switch over to the Pharah now. Different approach used here by Thailand as they come back. No long range damage. I love the Pharah switch here, Doa.
Well, they like, Singapore likes putting the nano boost onto Revenant. He's going to go ahead and use a Graviton Surge as well. And he and KOKFC going to be able to pick up a couple kills, or get those kills onto Thailand is what I was trying to say there. Riptire coming in.
Riptire is going to get anything. No, will be eliminated. So this Pharah switch, though, let's talk about this for a second, because right now Reaper and Junkrat are the main DPS of Singapore. Those are not heroes they're going to have any success whatsoever in dealing with a Pharah in the sky. So it's a smart switch up. Could have happened perhaps a little bit sooner. This is going to be a fight from Thailand. The second point 5 meters away or so from completion, but they are able to push Singapore back off. Colbat running to his death right there, resetting with his team.
Yeah, we heard about the respect that the other teams are giving Kurlos on that Ana right now, and he really kind of showed why. They're getting 2 kills himself, really keeping his team standing up and helping push Singapore out of there.
Pharah needs to heal up right now. Looks like Thailand not going to push too far past the bookshop, not going to try and take the far choke point. And they will let Singapore get through the streets just a little bit here and try and fight them. Now it's an opportunity to flank around the right-hand side, though.
I think he's so close to that Graviton Surge. I feel like they should just be patient as they fall back. There he has it now. They're ready. Singapore coming in. Graviton Surge used. They caught a lot of them.
There's the barrage.
And NZNR unloading with that barrage. Gets one, but he really softens up the rest of the team. Enough that Thailand should be able to clean this up. They get a couple kills, but they at least force Singapore back. That's a win.
He wasn't quite close enough, Doa, to get that. Colbat did flip over to the McCree right now, knows that they need some tool to help deal with the Pharah. Right now you can see NZNR 13-2 in eliminations.
He's been good on the Pharah when he's been trying it, so not a big shock really to see Thailand busting that out. And the payload was pushing very quickly initially, but now Singapore in some real danger of not even completing point B.
Yeah, Colbat getting low, but gets healed up by Death's Ana. They've got some ults to work with. They have to push now.
Oh, good sound barrier, though, by Thailand to deny the damage from that Death Blossom. Oputo gets the kill onto Reborns, and NZNR getting the nano boost for Thailand now, and he is going to wreak havoc in Singapore. And I don't think they're going to finish this point, man. 10 seconds left, and it looks like Thailand's going to hold.
Yeah, and they also have the barrage just for any stragglers, zoning out anybody. NZNR can walk forward right now and clog the choke with a Pharah ultimate. It is at 0. There he goes. And that's going to be it. So Thailand will defend only 1 point for Singapore. They can't quite make it to the Foundry on Kings Row.
It was a really unique kind of creative attack that Singapore brought on point A, and it really kind of threw Thailand off. But once it got to more sort of the normal Kings Row that we see a lot, Thailand didn't seem to have too much trouble holding it.
Well, Doa, frankly, I think Thailand conceded way too much ground on that first push that Singapore had. They had a Soldier. They weren't trying to control the high ground at all. They sort of let them push for free up into the back halls with the Junkrat, and that was pretty effective for Singapore overall. So I don't know about that. Thailand playing the low ground, not too efficient, and just not giving Singapore really any resistance on that initial push. So we'll see how things change. Revenant going to be playing the Winston here.
Yeah, defensively too. So they're going to go triple tank on the defense, I guess, for Singapore, but nobody running that Roadhog, which is generally what we see if we see a triple tank defense. So kind of an interesting choice here. See how it works out as Thailand looks. Yeah, we'll see what they switch to. It's still a couple seconds left until they need to decide. Puto could certainly go on that Genji. Mickey, though, probably just scoping things out with the Widowmaker before he switches back over to the Zarya.
Well, one thing that Singapore may be anticipating here is the Genji from Oputo coming in, because if Winston sits in the back with Colbat, it will basically shut down any backline threat. You have two heroes that are excellent at dealing with any kind of Genji dives. NZNR looking like he might be using the Hanzo to start out with here. Mickey probably just scoping right now before he switches over to the Zarya. Falling back down here at 10 seconds, but to see if they can get any advanced scouting, advanced information onto the point right now, and he is, let's see if he sticks with it.
I think
goes for the initial shot.
Oh, he's looking for just an easy shot on the high ground, but I don't think he's going to find it.
Yeah, there you go.
Now the switch comes in, and NZNR switching over to the Mei as well. So Mickey, back on the Zarya. And a little bit more of a normal attack coming in for Thailand, but a slow kind of grindy push.
Yeah, we've seen that from professional teams. Either you swap right before, or you take the one shot, see if you can get that lucky headshot, and then push in immediately. But they'll swap it up. You don't lose too much time doing that. And the bonus, if you actually manage to take somebody out immediately, is huge. So
yeah, that's right. Oputo has to run for it, though, and that's the nice thing about Revenant on that Winston, is that you do have an answer for that Genji right off the bat. Thailand, though, pushing in, getting a little bit of time on the point already. Singapore in a pretty good spot, though. And they're beefy, you know. They've got 3 tanks, so we'll see how long they can stay alive. KOKFC having to back up a little bit
for Revenant.
Yeah, he puts on the shield, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Oputo gets the nano boost for Thailand, and he's going to try to find a couple more here. Meanwhile, Mickey doing damage on that Zarya. Oputo does get slept, but Thailand able to sit on the point and gain a little bit more time. They get the first tick. They're going to get the second one, too. It looks like Mickey getting very low, but helps his team pick up a couple more kills before he finally goes down. And it looks like Singapore has had to back off far enough that, Thailand will take point A really quick.
Yeah, it looked like a miscommunication there from Singapore. Revenant went way too deep, got ensconced deep within the formation of Thailand, easily turned around and focused on. They dumped the nano boost, Thailand did, a bit early. Ooh,
nice kill on Colbat, man.
Yeah, finally got him. Couldn't run away, couldn't turn the corner fast enough, and that's going to be huge. That's a lot of payload time they're going to get in a 6v5, so big play coming up. They still have the nano boost. Kurlos only at 50%, or the Dragon Blade rather. Kurlos only at 50% on the nano boost so far, so there is a chance here at a contest. Singapore would be ulting a McCree here with that Deadeye. We'll see how they want to proceed.
Oputo's got the Dragon Blade available if he wants to, but no, a nano boost comes in onto Revenant. He dives in. There's the Graviton Surge, though, for Thailand. Going to be kills traded on each side here, as Oputo has to back up to guard the payload. Looks like he's going to have to back off for the moment, though. That was a bit an awkward fight. Both teams kind of jumping into each other at the same time. Kills traded fairly evenly, but in the end, Thailand coming out slightly ahead, it looks like.
Yeah, the Blizzard that came in onto the back line was just more efficient. Oputo got in there on the Genji. He's been holding on to that Dragon Blade the entire time. Kurlos is rapidly approaching a nano boost. Singapore has to do something here. They tried to nano boost their Winston on Revenant coming in, but it just wasn't the same amount of damage.
Getting so close to just taking King's Row. Thailand almost there. Dragon Blade still available for Oputo. He's going to get out of the Graviton Surge, try to get in the backlines for Singapore. Sound barriers used, and Colbat looking for some kills here on this McCree. They're going to push Singapore back for the moment. Mickey in a little bit of trouble, but he doesn't take too much after he dodges out. Kind of finds himself on his own now. And as Kurlos goes down, nice kill from Colbat, and it looks like Singapore is going to hold, but just barely 1.69 meters for Thailand to claim victory.
At Doha, that was a communication issue. Oputo popped the Dragon Blade, but had he waited just a tad bit longer, the nano boost would have been there too. Yeah. Singapore does lose all of their ultimates as a result of that push, so they can still get a nano boosted Reinhardt in there. Should be a strong push for Thailand. This is where they can finish this map.
And that's the thing. They still only have about 3 meters to go. So if they can win this team fight, they will absolutely take the map. Kurlos has that nano boost. They're going to go ahead and drop the Graviton Surge as well. The Blizzard, they are throwing the kitchen sink at Singapore. And we'll see if it's enough. Looks like the kills are coming in, and they're going all Thailand. So Thailand, as they clean up this team fight, should be able to take it. And they will win map 1. Singapore putting up a bit of a fight, but in the end, not enough of one to stop Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand knew they had a huge ult advantage. Just go ahead, throw everything at them for the last few meters.
Yeah, you might as well. You're so close. You know you're gonna win with that fight. You know, unless things go horribly, horribly wrong, you're always gonna get it.
Yeah, so that'll be Thailand going up 1-0. And that means that we are 1 match away from the tiebreakers. We'll see if Singapore can bring it back.
That's right, and while Singapore mulls it over, we've got an interview actually with Revenant, and we'll check out what his thoughts are.
Hi, my name is Marcus Tan. I'm Revenant. I play the off-tank for Team Singapore. I think I'm a very aggressive player to the extent that I dive for a lot of supports just to trade 1-for-1. I actually feel quite honored to represent Singapore for Overwatch. After a few years of competitive gaming, we all have to move on to our real lives. At the end of the day, we are still full-time students or we have a full-time job or whatnot. I would give anything to play full-time for sure. Competitive gaming is just a hobby, but of course, we enjoy this hobby a lot.
Interesting to hear Revenant talk about his over-aggression there, as that's exactly what we saw that ended up costing Singapore that point A on King's Row. But maybe something that, yeah, he might be known for. It's a part of his style, but that's a part of your style that you maybe want to take down a notch.
Or you need the team to play well around you, right? So you can maximize your advantage there. We did see some successful nano-boosted Winstons later on. But we'll see what we're going to get out of Thailand here, if they can just notch the win 2-0, or whether we'll be headed to the third map. Hanamura is a Thailand favorite. We've seen some great defenses from these guys using the Symmetra and the Mei. NZNR is a nightmare. Hey,
you're back to Monte Cristo again. Congratulations.
I'm now
Would you stop changing your name all the time?
I'm sorry, I change my Twitter handle like 3 times a day. But yeah, I'm now back to being a small island in the Mediterranean, though.
There you go. Or a sandwich.
Or a sandwich. Or actually what I named myself after, which is The Count of Monte Cristo, the book by Dumas. So.
Right, but that's not the name of the count. That's just what he's count of, you know?
That's right. That's why it's a small Mediterranean island.
Yeah, there you go. Or a sandwich. Maybe it was a count of sandwiches.
No, actually, it was the Earl of Sandwich.
That's right.
No, that's already taken, though. It's already taken.
Yep. Wow. History lessons. None of them about Japan, though, which is where we presumably are in the future here, as Singapore gets ready to go out on offense. Reinhardt is taking a break.
What's your favorite historical fact about Japan, Doa?
It's hard to say, really.
There's just so many to choose from.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite one is about this alien that came from outer space. And he had a tail.
I said
cut it
history.
Off. And then he figured out, later on, we got really angry and went like, and his eyes shook around a bit for about 20 minutes or so. His hair would turn golden, and he could fight anyone and win.
I believe that you have confused history and fantasy again, but I do know you have that tendency.
I don't think so. I think that's pretty much what I learned in college.
All right, Zalfix on the Symmetra again. We'll see if Singapore is ready for it as they come into the first point.
Well, they get a bit split up by the Mei wall from Thailand's side, and already Oputo getting a kill on that McCree. There goes Colbat. Zalfix on the Symmetra this time around, which is starting to become kind of normal, which I love.
Every defense on this point.
It's great, man. And goodbye, Dest. I met your destiny. I'm done. I'm retiring. Goodbye, everybody.
Just the Grandma Microwave there on the side, which is another great name for a punk band.
The Grandma Microwave. Yeah, that is a good one. This casting thing doesn't work out. Let's start a punk band called Grandma Microwave. Hey, come a little closer. Nice.
Oh, what a troll.
NZNR.
Wow, that was a kill right there that was blocked off. So Colbat will be counting his lucky star. Oh, it's okay. Time number 2 worked out on the doubted.
Yeah, Zalfix got that kill there. As those turrets up, Revenant goes down, NZNR picking another one up. They put the nano boost onto the Reaper on the Singapore side, but doesn't look like Colbat's going to really get anything out of that. That's a clean team wipe, nearly clean team wipe for Thailand.
Well, we've seen how good Thailand is. They were saying in scrims that they never lose defense. They're so good at full holding this. And how do you practice against this? They're the only team that's running the Symmetra. They are incredibly proficient at setting up those traps in a variety of patterns in that Zen Garden to really just slow you all the way through. And you combine that with a Mei left click or a Mei wall, and he keeps moving the place. He puts the teleport down. It's up there. He has not put it up there before, so.
Well, another easy split, another easy hold. This is the problem, is that Singapore doesn't appear to have a plan for getting around that Mei wall. You know, not only are they struggling with the Symmetra, but they're just getting cut in half every time they try to come through.
Yeah, well, that's how you play a good Mei on this map. I think Mei is more or less mandatory on defense here at point A.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they did sort of curl us unnecessarily through the nano boost down onto Oputo's McCree, so the Electric Cowboy not doing a lot of work right there.
Electric Cowboy was also the name of one of my fans, so you know. Blizzard dropped by Thailand, and looks like it's going to be another easy team fight. I mean, not a lot to say about this. Thailand is just wrecking Singapore every single time they come in.
You know, I think Electric Cowboy was the name of my country metal band.
That sounds good. kind of like a Pantera kind of thing going on.
I've never heard country metal before, but I'm sure it exists.
Probably. And don't just say that's Kid Rock. No, that's not what we're talking about here.
I pretended. Oh, wow, nice hook again.
Man.
Mickey coming around the side.
No kidding. Well, Reborn's getting pulled around the side, and he will not make it. And Singapore, they're getting picked, right? They're either losing people to the Maywall, or they're getting people grabbed by the Roadhog.
They have 6 ults, so they got to do something now, Noah.
I guess. But can they get in there and use them all at once? That's the question.
They have to go in, and they have to make this work, because the longer they wait, the closer the 5 ults come out to Thailand.
Here we go. All right, nano boost onto Apudo. He's going to get it. Cowboy! The machine gun doing work, and then the flashbang for the kill onto Colbat. That was brutal. Goodbye, doubted, and I never doubted for a second that Thailand was going to be able to hold that.
Apudo, Electric Cowboy, doing work.
That is terrifying.
Well, you come in, you don't have the proper shields right there. I mean, basically, that's sort of on Revenant, because he chose to charge instead of actually shielding the rest of his team while the Deadeye was channeling.
Yeah, all right, well, Singapore's back again. They have to try something. Down to 10 seconds remaining here. Nobody on Thailand getting taken out. And Pudo with another kill on the Pamu, and they can just back off very patiently. Mickey just uses a whole hog, just trying to keep the Singapore players away. Doesn't hit the grab there, but there's not many people on the point yet. Maybe they can barely take it. Oh, he got out of the charge just in time. Revenant very, very low here. Being healed by the Ana, gets the nano boost. Singapore, the last ditch effort. Will it be enough? Doesn't look like it as overtime goes down. Blizzard used as well, and Singapore will be unable to take point A here on Hanamura.
Hanamura is just such a great map for Thailand. They
really
are an ace on this first point. They have just been dominant here on point A. Now they
have a sixth sense for when the camera's on them too.
I think they know. I think they've memorized the production, so they know every single time when they should be going nuts at those GoPros. So,
yeah.
All right, well, we're going to be heading on to their offense. If they take this first point, they will take the map, they will take the match, and then we will go into the wonderful world of tiebreakers.
That's right, but I'm excited because that means we'd get to see games on Nepal, and we haven't really seen much on Nepal at all, except for that
only the
one game earlier today, yeah. So, a new map, which makes me happy. So, Thailand, all they need to do is take point A on Hanamura, which, again, it's one of those assault maps where you kind of plan, if you're the defense, to have that point A taken from you at some point. You're going to make your last stand at point B, but Singapore can't do that. They have to hold right here. And it looks like Revenant may try out the Symmetra himself, I guess.
Against the Symmetra Master.
Well, they're just going to use almost a composition, but crucially, they're not running a Mei, and you need the Mei.
I agree. I think the Mei is...
I think it's insanity to not run the Mei on
really important.
Yeah.
And to add to that, Doa, if NZNR sticks onto this D.Va, they're going to be able to just run straight through this point, basically. If there's no Mei wall there, the combination of the Genji and the D.Va will have an easy time getting into the back lines.
Well, I think it's really smart to run that D.Va, because if anything else, you can just run in, see what they're running, and if you don't get out, you're like, oh, whatever, I can stay on that or change to another tank. Looks like he's going to switch over to the Mei, but Thailand, of course, again, has a lot of luxury here. They can approach it very cautiously, scope out the defenses, and then kind of make that big push.
Yeah, and you can slow push, too, and there's no chance of getting separated in the doorway, which means you don't have to have any flying heroes to get through the smaller upper door. Doubted is going to cheese here, try and look for the immediate charge. He is still...
Oh, no! NZNR!
How did that happen?
Why did you do that? Pudo gets the kill onto Doubted immediately, but they're each team one down, and Singapore comes in. Oh, she lived! How in the world did he become the only Symmetra to ever live through a Roadhog hook?
Wow.
Lucky Revenant.
Well, Apudo does get an angle, though. He's going to put some damage down to Colbat and get that kill. Now, this Lucio doesn't even know he's behind him, it seems.
Look behind you.
Yeah, Pamu does get the boop off in the end, but this ult is still building up here, and the Dragon Blade is already there for Apudo.
Well, you know, with the Lucio down, Dragon Blade for Apudo, gonna get the kill onto Dest right there, going back in again. Singapore in big, big trouble here. There goes McCree. Melee for Colbat, and the teleporter found right away. You know, props to Revenant for building that up so quickly, but not really getting any use out of it. And that's going to be about it. I don't think Singapore can stop this. And with this point 8 take, Thailand will take a very quick 2-0 over Singapore, and we are going to tiebreakers.
All right, Doa, it's tiebreaker time here. France, China, and Thailand will be running round-robin best-of-3s on Nepal until somebody goes 2-0 and somebody goes 1-1, which will determine our first and second seeds here at the Overwatch World Cup in Group D.
What do you expect?
Well, these guys are friends too.
Thailand.
Yeah, these guys actually know each other. Some of them are former teammates in Southeast Asia. They actually play against each other a lot in Overwatch in Southeast Asian tournaments, so no bad blood, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So a fun match to end it with. I mean, Singapore, you know, they made a show of it, but in the end, Thailand just a bit too strong, and I'm excited about this, man. I think this could be a very competitive three-way tie. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot more about that soon. China, you know, maybe the favorite to sort of be the winner out of all these, and then